Alright, so we have our home page and our question page UI complete. There's just a few more pages we need to create. So if we go to our structure, we might as well get those out of the way now. So we'll create these. And I'll explain what each one does. Okay, so we're going to have a final.php, and this is just going to be the view where you complete the test and it tells you congratulations, it tells you your score, things like that. Alright, okay, so the next one we're going to create is going to be called process.php, and this basically won't have a view. It's just going to process our answer and add it to the score variable. There's no view. It'll just do a redirect to either the next question or the final page. Alright, so next we need another PHP file called database.php, and this is going to be our database connection file. Alright, now this structure here isn't very complex. If you're building a bigger app, a bigger production application, you want to kind of categorize each file and put them in subfolders, and we'll look into that later on, especially in the blog project. We'll have a big structure with classes, and we'll be doing more object-oriented stuff. So the last one I want to create here is basically our admin page called add.php, and it's just going to be a form where we can actually add quizzes to the database through the browser. Alright, so let's start here with final. Okay, so I'm going to copy the markup from the question page. Also, when you get into bigger apps and more advanced stuff, you don't want to have this doc type and all the head stuff in every page like we're doing. You can see how every page has that. What you want to do generally is create maybe a file called header.php, and then put the header in there and then just include it in each page. And we're going to get into that. I just wanted this first project to be really simple. Alright, so let's go ahead and get rid of the main content within the container. Okay, so in the container I'm going to add an h2, and we're just going to say you're done, and then let's have a couple paragraph. We'll say congrats, you have completed the test. And then we'll have our final score. For now, we'll just say 5. And then I also want a link to retake it. So that'll go to question.php, and it'll go to number 1. Class start. Alright, so let's take a look at the final page. Okay, so that's what the final page will look like. Very simple. So now we want to do the add page. Okay, so actually let's just copy, we'll copy the index page. Alright, so we're going to have a form here. Let's add a header. Okay, and we're going to open a form tag. So form method is going to be post. Action is actually going to be this page. So add.php. Okay, so inside of the form, we'll have paragraph and a label. So this will be the question number field. We're going to let the user define the question numbers. That way they can actually edit the order and things like that. Okay, so we're going to have an input type. We're going to use the HTML5 number attribute. And then the name we'll say is question number. And then that's it for now. Okay. And since it's the number field, we can use the arrow as well, which is nice. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. And the next one is going to be question text. Okay, so the type is going to be text. And this will be text. Alright, so let's copy this. Okay, next we're going to have choice number 1. Let's put semicolon, I'm sorry, put colons here. So choice 1 is going to be text and the name is going to be choice 1. Alright, and we're going to have 5 of these choices. Two, three, and this will be what? 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, and this will be 5. Alright, so that's all the choices. And then we're going to have one more input field. And that's going to be called correct choice number. Okay, so they're going to enter the number, whichever one of these is correct, they're going to enter that number. So we're going to change this to a number type. And we're going to call this correct choice. Okay, and then of course we want a submit button. Submit, and then we'll give it a value of submit. Alright, so let's check out the form. Alright, so it looks a little messed up. Actually, the submit, we have to put, the type should be button. I'm sorry, submit. Alright, so let's edit this a little bit with CSS. I want the label, no matter how long, I want the input boxes to start at the same point. So what we need to do is make these labels an inline block in our CSS file. Okay, so I'll just go up here and say label display inline block, and let's give it a width of 180 pixels. Alright, that looks a lot better. I want to style these input boxes a little bit. I want to make all of them longer, all the text boxes longer, and the numbers, question number and correct choice number, I want to make a little shorter. Okay, so in our CSS, we'll say input. Okay, so we'll use this CSS3 selector. Alright, so we can say type equals text. So this will apply only to inputs with the type of text. Alright, so let's say width 97% of its container. We'll put some padding, border, radius, we'll make 5 pixels, and of course we need a border, 1 pixel. Alright. Okay, so there's our text. Now for the number, let me copy this. Okay, so the width for the number, let's just do a fixed. We'll do 50 pixels. Padding, everything else is good. Alright. So that'll do it for our form. Now as far as being responsive, alright, so what I want to do is I want to add a media query, so when the window is smaller, I want less space on the sides. Alright, so let's go ahead and add just a simple media query at the bottom here. Say media only screen and max width, we'll say 960, so anything under 960 we're going to set the width, I'm sorry, we're going to set the container with a width of 80%. Alright, so let's try that. Alright, there we go. That looks really good. So this is a fine mobile app. If you could actually add on to this and then create a mobile app, that would be pretty cool. So that's good for now. That's the user interface. In the next video, we'll get into adding our PHP code and interacting with the database.